Thank you. Roughly 10,000 people are members of American Veterans in California, and tomorrow a local chapter of AmVets will be named for those here in the Coachella Valley.
The late son of Cindy Sheehan, Tracy Sheehan, will be remembered as the post is dedicated. This morning to talk more about the special event is Cindy's sister, Didi Miller. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. And Tracy, of course, with the group AmVets that is doing this thing tomorrow at Cimarron Golf Club in Cathedral City. We also are joined this morning by Cindy Sheehan on the phone from Ottawa, Canada. Good morning, Cindy. Can you hear us?
Oh, good morning. Yes, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yes,
absolutely.
We can.
All right. Good morning to all of you.
Yes, let's start first with the event that comes up tomorrow, and that's with the AmVets dedicating this into the local veterans, and Tracy Sheehan as well. You're going to be out there tomorrow, Didi?
Yes, I will.
And they're giving an award, some sort of remembrance or award, or?
Yeah, Cindy's getting an award from the Verterans For Peace, and they're also naming the AmVets chapter after Casey.
So in his honor.
Right.
All right. How do you feel about this? Is this a touching tribute?
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I'd rather we not have to do this. I'd rather Casey be alive, of course, but he was such a wonderful kid. I mean, he deserves what he's getting here.
And Tracy, why the honor for Tracy Sheehan?
Well, I feel that we really need to speak up for the families of veterans in regards to this war. This war didn't have to happen. We now know that. We've seen it. And I think we need to recognize that families such as Didi and Cindy will be going through this forever, and we're here to prevent this in whatever way we can.
All right, and nobody's been more outspoken, of course, on anti-war sentiment than Cindy Sheehan, who this morning is in Canada. And Cindy, tell me what you're doing in Canada this morning.
Well, I'm going to 3 different provinces in my stay here, and we are trying to rally people to pressure their government to allow war resistors from the states to come up here and have sanctuary, because many of our soldiers do not want to go and fight in this illegal and immoral war. And it's not because they're cowards. It's not because they didn't sign up to defend America, but it's because they have a real moral problem with going and killing innocent Iraqis for George Bush's oil war.
Well, you say this war is illegal and immoral. How is it illegal?
It's illegal by any standard. It wasn't sanctioned by the UN. It's illegal by Geneva Conventions. It's illegal by our own Constitution. Our Constitution says that treaties are the highest law of the land, and this is breaking treaties with the UN. It's breaking treaties with the international community, and also our Congress never declared this war.
Okay, now, of course, there are detractors of what you're saying, Marines and other soldiers who are in Iraq right now fighting, who believe in what they're doing. What do you say to them?
Well, there's also many soldiers that I hear from on a daily basis that know that this mission is just to make George Bush rich. And the soldiers who are over there, I support them. I think that they should come home alive. I think that they shouldn't make their mothers Gold Star mothers. And what we're doing in America, struggling for this peace to bring them home alive, is supporting them, because sending them to fight and die and kill innocent people in an illegal and immoral war, and plus not supporting them with the tools they need to survive, and when they get back, cutting VA benefits, is in no way supporting our troops.
Let's talk briefly about Casey. And you talked about people going to Canada there, which is one of the reasons why you're up there, to talk about folks getting away from the war, that want to get away from it. And I read on the internet from Cybernet News Service that you at one point told Casey that you didn't want him to go to war in Iraq, that you would take him to Canada. Is that true?
That's true. When he was home for the last time in Christmas of 2003, we had long discussions about this. He didn't want to go to the war. He didn't believe that it was right. He didn't believe that George Bush was using his buddies wisely. I begged him. I said, Casey, let's go. I'll take you to Canada right now. And he said, I can't go, Mom. I don't want to go to Iraq, but I have to go. And I wish he had come up here, or I even wish he would be in prison right now instead of dead.
Why did he decide to go? He said he had to go, but he didn't want to go. So why did he feel compelled to go? What was his reasoning with you?
Well, it was that it was his duty, and it was because his buddies were going, and he couldn't imagine sending his buddies off, who become a second family to our soldiers. And this is what the soldiers who go back tell me. They don't want to go back, but their buddies are going back. And they're doing it for their buddies, and they're such brave and honorable and wonderful people, and they're dying for people who are just using them for profit, and they're using them as cannon fodder. And George Bush and his administration, they don't care about the soldiers. They're just using them to line their pockets. And this is what gets me. George Bush and his administration, they did everything they could to get out of Vietnam, which I don't think is a bad thing. But then you grow up and you lead your country. When you become in power, you lead the country off into another illegal and immoral war. That's what I have a problem with.
Well, I think it's a pretty strong statement, though, to say that the president and the rest of the administration doesn't care about the soldiers that's over there. I don't think that would be accurate.
They absolutely don't care about the soldiers. They sent them to die and kill innocent people, so people like Halliburton and Bechtel and Standard Oil and Exxon could make profits beyond anybody's wildest dreams. If they cared about them, they wouldn't have put them in that situation.
All right, Cindy, we thank you so much for joining us this morning. Also, your sister Didi Miller and Tracy, of course, from AMVETS.
Have a great time. I wish I could be there.
Thank you so much for all of you for coming in, and Cindy as well.